Hello. I'm gonna do a little fire practice. It's a chilly day. Everything is a little bit damp. Even my little fire set I made the other day has been sitting out in the weather, so it's a little bit damp. So this is definitely gonna be a lot more challenging than when everything's dry, obviously. My hands are a bit sore. I was practicing this yesterday and the day before, but the key is just to practice so much that it just becomes like second nature. So let's give this a shot. If nothing else, I'll get a little practice in. Main thing right now is I need to dry this stuff off. And that first puff of smoke. Not really going for the amber yet, just warming everything up. All right, let's go for it. Oh boy, screw that one up. Try that in a little bit. I tell you, fire or no fire, just doing this warms you up. Time to take Cooney off for a bit. Put that in the dirt, that wasn't good. Just added some extra moisture to it. Rest and we'll give it another shot. All right, about 5 minutes has passed, so I think I'm ready for another shot at this. See if we can get this fire going with this. If not, we'll move on to the bow drill. The dirt again. Not good, not good. we get it? Did we get it? Whew. Nope. Well. Ground out a lot of tar dust. Warm myself up, but no fire. So that's where tenacity comes in. Persistence is just trying the same thing over and over again, hoping that you'll make it. Whereas tenacity comes in handy in situations like this. It's trying to find, if one thing doesn't work, it's no use wasting your energy on it. Move on to something else. And to be good at surviving and bushcraft, you got to know how to do both. So we're going to switch over and do the bow drill now. All right, let's go over my bow drill kit real quick. So this is the floorboard. I've made quite a number of fires with it. It's made of willow. Here is the spindle part, the drill, and I want you to notice how it goes from thick to thin. This thin end right here, this is where it connects to the socket. And the reason why it thins down is so that you're reducing friction at that point. You want to reduce the friction, and that leads us to the socket, which is made of pine fatwood, which has some of the resin from the pine tree, which makes it a good wood for the sockets, because when it heats up, it actually creates kind of a lubricant and it slips and spins. If you don't have this, you can use any old piece of wood. You can use a rock that has a divot in it, or I've even used a shell. Other tips, if you happen to have a little bit of grease, you can put it on there. Of course, you're probably not going to have that to expend in that way, so you can always get some earwax and use that. You can spit on it. Anything you can do to reduce friction at this point. Where you want the friction is right there on the fireboard on the thick end, right there. Okay, so, and then I like to have a little catch to catch the ember. This is just a split piece of willow. And then this is the bow for the bow drill. And here's a little tweak that I've come up with. I like to carve some notches towards the end that kind of create almost like an alligator's tail. And what that allows me to do is I can adjust the tension. So if I want it to be tighter, I can take this little knot and slide it down. It's already pretty tight, but if I need it tighter, I can slide it down to another notch. And that way, as this loosens up, when you're working on your fire, sometimes the string will loosen up. You can still adjust it pretty easily without having to untie this end. Now right here, I'm just using my shepherd sling as the string for the bow drill. So let's get to it. I'm gonna go ahead and set my floorboard right there. Everything right there. And use our little socket. And here we go. Warming it up. Again, not the ideal conditions, so take a little longer and a little more effort. Oops. pretty good. Looks like we got it already. Whew. Now that's a nice big ember we got there. There it is, you can see. Got a good, good little ember there. Let's do the old swing the arm around, the windmill technique. About to go. And there it goes. Some suboptimal moisture content. And I always advocate having your stuff prepared. In this case, I'm just messing around, so I didn't really prepare my sticks beforehand too much. But there we go. Fire. Gather some more sticks. If I needed to carry fire from one spot to another, or if I wanted to keep a little ember going, or even as a mosquito repellent, that's the key right there. Make a fire rope. And there's a number of barks and materials that'll make the same thing. But it is, you know, not the easiest thing to find unless you know what you're looking for in nature, to find a material that when you light it, it'll just continue to smolder like this. Certain fungi, chaga mushroom, there's quite a number of fungi that'll do it, and certain barks, certain types of willow, not all willows, but certain types of willow, the inner bark will do the same thing. And this Yaupon shavings is one thing I found in my environment that'll do that same thing.